All right, guys, what's up? Over here, just got the car pushed in the shop. You can see it's about the same way it was last time we were at the track. So I'm about to go ahead and pull the motor out. First, I want to thank y'all. I didn't order a lot of shirts. I only ordered a very few, just kind of random sizes. And I didn't know how they would sell. But, you know, luckily, you guys are buying my shirts like crazy. And I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all wanting to support me and support the channel. And, you know, buying some shirts. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty understated shirt, which is kind of my style. I don't like big flashy stuff. So I enjoyed making it, and I like it. So I say all that. There are a lot of sizes that are out of stock already. Like I said, we didn't order a ton, but we're going to order some more on Monday. And so it usually takes about a week or two to get them in. And so I will let y'all know, you know, when they get back in stock. There's still some of the bigger sizes in stock. So if y'all go to the link that I put in the description below, and check the link out and see which ones you want. And if they're in stock, we'll ship them that same day. And if it says out of stock, then we'll have some shortly. But I appreciate y'all supporting that. We're going to snatch the motor out, pull it apart, see if those pistons can be saved or not. They might be okay. We'll see. So check this out. Okay, so here's the motor in here. I mean, it's very simple to get this thing in and out. I only got two bolts in the motor plate. I mean, there's a lot of people that run 4. I used to run 4, and then my little plate got messed up, and so I've had 2 in there forever. So I mean, 2 bolts there. I've got my little stabilizer that I made. I don't know what this thing is actually officially called, but this thing keeps the motor from going forward and backwards in the car. The motor plate will keep it from going side to side and lifting up, but if you don't have that thing on it, then there's a chance that the motor is going to slide forward and backwards when it takes off. Sometimes it does some crazy stuff. So there's those 2 pistons. The front 2 are not bad, but these 2 over here, I'm gonna see if we can clean them up. But you can see they're beat up pretty good. That's the one that the actual piston failed in. That one actually might be okay. This one over here was crazy. Down at the bottom, down there at the very bottom of the piston, there was a piece of the valve stem was beating up the head, and that thing, you see where it dented it up pretty good. So we'll see. That one may be more damaged than the other one, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull it out, pull it apart. There's a little bit of material in number 1 cylinder from the bronze or whatever it is, the actual seat material. It got chunked over here to this hole, and you can see down at the bottom of the piston there, it's kind of beat up a little bit, but it's not bad, so it's not in terrible shape. So we're gonna do whatever is required to get it to where it's back running. But there again, I'm not going to like rebuild the whole motor. I'm hoping you know, this will be a prime opportunity to check some of the rod bearings in the other ones and check the main bearings. So I'm gonna probably pull the caps off a couple of them and check the main bearings, but I'm not gonna pull the whole motor apart. Just those 2 are coming out for sure. Okay, so we got this thing out. It is on the engine lift. And so we're about to drain the oil. Let's see what we're using, right? We're using the bucket so we can reuse this stuff. Go figure. Who would do that? That's how much water's in it. Oh, it's pretty clean oil. Oh no, see the water is milk down in there a little bit. It's not terrible though. Oh yeah, we cooking that bad boy again. This has not been in there very long. So, and just FYI to anybody else, you know how I mentioned it before, but I guess everybody doesn't listen. We're gonna take the oil pan off of this bad boy while it is still right side up. Because if you turn it over and get to those easy oil pan bolts to start with, now all that oil that has dripped for days off of the rotating assembly down into the oil pan is gonna go back into the top of the motor. And so now it's gonna be really oily and slick. And this brad pen oil is very slick. Makes it very difficult to turn and get loose. Okay, so we're about to snatch the oil pan off of it real fast. Y'all can see this is the same old beat up pan. Oh, that thing is awesome. That is called having character right there. It is what it is. So this side, pistons over here are not bad. I don't know what all this gunk is in there. Normally it burns a lot cleaner than that. But this time it didn't. And that's you can see the bottom of that piston there a little bit better. Right, it got a little bit of material. That's where the seat was in there. But this one over here this is the rough one. But they might be salvageable. We'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so the bottom of the motor still looks pretty good. Not too bad at all. So So I'm about to snatch those 2 pistons out of it and see if anything is worth salvaging. Rods and everything look fine. I have not pulled off a main cap yet. There is no metal anywhere in the bottom of this motor. So the main bearings are probably good, hopefully. But I am gonna snatch off at least one, probably that center one or the second from the back, one of the easy ones. Snatch it off. Won't do the front of the back. Probably, I don't plan on disassembling it more than what it is right now. So hopefully I can just get those 2 pistons out and see what else we need to do. I don't plan on taking any of the front of the motor stuff off. Okay, well, I told a lie. When I was cleaning everything out, there was a lot of material like around the ring grooves. And so I decided I was gonna go ahead and pull all the pistons out. All of them are in good shape. Some of them did have a couple little pieces of that bronze material that was stuck to the side of the piston right above the ring. So I went ahead and took it all out. But this thing is like butter, son. I mean, I'm just spinning it with my hand. And, you know, of course, it's got that nice brad pin oil in it. I mean, when you look at the amount of thrust, I mean, the thrust is really, really good, really tight like normal. So everything is fine on the bottom end. There's nothing in the oil pan other than a bunch of cobbled up welds. So it was 100% just, I mean, the motor was fine. It just broke that valve. So apparently my car or John's car has got the valve train herpes. So I don't know which one gave it to which, but I think he said he's got some issues as well. So I don't know, we'll see. But hopefully mine's gonna go back together. Looking at the pistons, I'm fixing to start working on these. Now this one right here, this is the one that did not break the valve. This is the one where a piece of the valve stem, this was the neighbor, this was on hole number 8. And if you look, I mean, these rings, it crushed that ring land. It hit it so hard right here and just crushed it all. And so these rings are actually stuck. So that one is definitely no good. That was the one I was expecting to have to replace. This is the one that the valve dropped in, and the rings are not stuck on this one. The sides of the piston are in real good shape. It's just beat up. This is I mean, that's a solid dome. It's not hollow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Ziz wheel on the air grinder, and I'm gonna see if I can smooth these out. I may be able to salvage this piston. This piston may be okay. Won't that be ironic if the piston that is in the hole that the valve dropped is salvageable and the other one beside it is not? So we'll see what happens. Let's look at this and see if I can clean it up. All right, so this is my new anti-detonation specialty piston. I cleaned it up, got most of the sharp edges off. That is pretty doggone smooth. It's kind of hard to, the light makes it look rougher than what it is, but it is, that's usable. So it's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 cc's different at the most. I mean, it's not bad. A lot of people wouldn't dare throw that back in their motor, but we're going to send it. It's going back in the motor. Everything's fine. Nothing on the ring grooves are hurt. None of the piston rings are stuck. It's not scuffed up bad. So it's just on that dome, that real thick part. So I just smoothed it out. So I think we're gonna be good to go. So we're sticking that one back in. The other one, I'm gonna try to unstick the rings and fix it. And I'm gonna probably I'll do that later. I'll just do that one for a spare. It'll just probably be easier to order another one and just replace it for right now. I mean, the way this one is, it's pretty squashed. So, I mean, I'm kind of nervous, but I would use it in a spare if I can get the rings unstuck in it. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, is use this one as a spare if I can get the rings unstuck. So we're gonna order 1 piston. Looks like that's all I'm gonna need. Okay, so here's everybody's been asking about Randy's, and there's the man right there. Brian has done and fixed this mofo and got it mostly done. So this is the reason we couldn't go racing, this wheel. This is the outside edge, of course. It smacked it, but if you look real close down in the center, it bent it, and then up there you can see the cracks. So this wheel was done. So the rim was bent, that's why it was locked up. When you look at the back side, it was locked up. This is the sparks that we saw when it hit. It, you know, crushed this area into the rear end housing. And so you can see more back here on the back where it actually bent that center section. He might be able to send this wheel off and, you know, get it fixed at Billet Specialties, but it may or may not be okay. I'm gonna order him some new tires, new rim. Brian was in a hurry. He worked on that thing like crazy. If we'd have had that wheel, we would be at Virginia getting run over this weekend. But check this out. It's crazy. Covered in body dust, of course. Brian, like I said, kicked butt on it. I mean, the rear bumper cover needs a little bit of paint, but he's got, I mean, the whole quarter, this thing was crushed completely. And so it's back out, repaired. Other side from where it hit the other wall, same thing. It wasn't too bad. It was just over the center of the wheel. So, I mean, but it is all repaired, and really got to put a trunk on it, the trunk deck lid on it, put the back glass in it, and the wheel. So it's only got a couple more hours worth of work, and then it'll be ready to go. So Randy's is almost back together. I mean, you know, like I said, Brian busted butt on it. He got working on it, I think it was on Tuesday, and by, you know, Thursday, it was ready to roll had we been able to get this wheel. But since we couldn't get the wheel, we couldn't make Virginia, so instead we worked on mine today. So Randy's is coming along, so that's just a little bit of update on his. So awesome. All right, guys, so it's back in the trailer. You can't really see it. It's dark back there, so that's a good thing. It's in the trailer. We're done for the night. Did not get the heads taken apart. I'm gonna do the heads probably in the next couple days. Got a game plan though. Gonna go ahead and order one piston. Go ahead and get that on the way. It's gonna be a couple weeks on that. It is off the shelf, just a CP piston though, just a CP bullet. So it'll be here soon. So I shouldn't have to do anything, just assemble that, and I'll start putting the bottom end back together. Richard will get my head, well, heads. One's gonna need to be surfaced, and the other one's going to need some welding. So we'll get him the heads hopefully in the next couple days and get started on that. So I'm looking 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully. That's about the time that Carolina No Time series will be back at Darlington. So we'll be focusing back on Randy's. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything runs good and don't have any issues. So it could have been worse. If that would have happened at the top of the track at 8,200 RPM, it would have been bad, but it didn't. Mind, comment, like, and subscribe. Check out the merch link below. I've still got some shirts available. If you're one of the bigger guys, I got some. They fit good. They're nice and soft. Go fast and get some wind lights. See y'all next time.